Hello, hope you had a lovely half term and welcome back to Mrs. Hewitt's Spelling at Home. So this is our first Key Stage 2 session of the new half term. Got lots more root words for you to do and some more spelling rules for you to practice. So hopefully you haven't forgotten them all from before half term. But our root word for today, and there's not that many words, I'm going to start you off with quite an easy one. So our root word today is this one, prim. Okay, and really we can imagine there's that E on there to make the split diagram of prime, okay, because in English lots of our words is to do with prime. So it's from the Latin primus, meaning first, okay, so it's that root word of being prim or prime there, and all our words are going to relate to that. So and these all relate to being first, remember. So anything with kind of that prime root all relates to being kind of first. So here's our word grid. I'm going to pop it up to the screen in a second. That is your cue to pause the video. So you've got the morpheme frame right up against your screen. And whilst it's up there, you need to build your words by reading across and joining your word sums together. But think about, remember, when you've done your additions and you're going to write that final word joined, look back, are there any spelling rules you need to apply in terms of dropping letters where you're adding suffixes on, okay, because that's the really important learning that you should be taking through from this. Okay, so get ready to pause the video. Okay, so let's have a look at the words that you've done. Now, hopefully, and I've popped this at the top because it's one that we should always get because we go to primary school. So we have got primary, okay? So we've got prime plus -ary, and we get primary. And again, primary meaning first, okay? So it's the first school you go to. After primary school, you go to secondary school because that is your second school. Okay, so we've got primary and secondary, primary there. We have a primate. Okay, now primate, you may have heard that when we're referring to monkeys and animals like monkeys, okay, they are all primates. Humans are actually primates as well. And this has come from not being the first animal that lived, but basically being the highest order, so at the top of the kind of mammal spectrum, because monkeys and humans are the animals that can do the most, okay, got the most about them, and they're supposed to be the most developed. So, and that's why we are called primates, okay, because there's kind of the highest order, probably because we invented the word, so we're going to think we're the most important, but that's the meaning behind that, okay, primate being the first, being the top ones. And then primal is the adjective relating to a primate. So primal is kind of that first instinct again, so you can act in a primal way. But yeah, that's just the adjective version. Primer, that's something you maybe like a paint or something you put on first, okay? So maybe before you're going to paint your bench, you have to put a primer on to get it ready. That's basically like a first coat, okay? So that's to do with something that you put on initially to start with. Okay, then we've got some of our word building there, so to go along our grid and try and join some of those morphemes together. So we've got primate, but then we've also got primitive and primitively. So if you're acting in a sort of monkey, ape-like way, or maybe a bit, I don't know, less sophisticated, let's say, you could act a bit primitively. So you can see there we've got primate with the E on, and then we cross that E off because we're adding a suffix that starts with a vowel. So we get primitive, and then to make that an adverb, we put the ly on the end, primitively. Okay, so you can see, and this E stays because this one doesn't start with a vowel. So primitively. And then the bottom one, from primary, we also have primarily. So if you're going to say, right, well, primarily, it's just like a posh way of saying firstly, really. So you could say primarily, and again, you can't have primary-ily, just doesn't sound right. We wouldn't say primary-ily because it's really difficult to say. And lots of these spelling rules in English come from just the fact of ease of speech. Okay, so over time, that Y would have gone just because as you speak, you sort of naturally drop it off. So we've got primarily, okay, primarily, it's like firstly. So they are some of the words. Actually, that's pretty much all the words you could have got today, because I say there wasn't many, but it's just about making sure that you know that that prime bit comes from being first, okay? So that's your main teaching for today. I would say, could you pick maybe primary and primarily? They're probably the words that you're going to use in your writing the most, so they're the ones you need to know how to spell. Practice writing them, write a sentence or two with one or two of those words in from today, and then your word study session is done for today. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you back tomorrow with another root word and some word building. Okay, take care. Bye.